welcome to Aussie Tech Heads episode 482, the 7th of April 2016, and welcome once again to another week of some tech news. My name's Glenn, and we'll be joined by two other little rascals in a minute, and we're going to get through the next hour or so and give you what's been happening in tech news, sort of loosely based around the Aussie tech scene, if we can find interesting enough stories, but we'll see how we go. All right, we are brought to you by athwebhosting.com.au, and if you need some Aussie-based service for your web hosting needs, go and check those guys out, athwebhosting.com.au. You can also listen to the podcast, as you probably already know, you've already worked it out anyway, because you're hearing us now, but also on TuneIn Radio. You can just search for Aussie Tech Radio or Aussie Tech Heads. The Aussie Tech Radio is a 24/7, wall-to-wall Aussie Tech and New Zealand tech shows. And it just plays 24/7, 7 days a week, and you just jump on in, and wherever it's up to in the system, you'll just join in from there. So go and have a look at that. And also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Aussie Tech Heads. All right, so now after last week, how'd you like last week's episode? That was pretty intense, wasn't it? Talking about blockchains and all this sort of stuff. But apologies that the video and audio wasn't the best last week. It was pretty crap. I think old Steve there, Spidey, if you remember, he was up the back of Whoop Whoop somewhere, and I think he was on a Linux machine, which I read through the week that Linux hasn't updated Skype for 2 years. So I think that was half the issues there. But anyway, let's see who we've got here tonight. And we've got, let's start off, I can only do, I'm trying to work the shot out here. I can only do a two-shot this week, but let's go, both of you, Stuart and Eric. How's going? Hello,
you
Stuart.
go first, Stuart.
All right, how you doing, Stuart? How was your holiday?
Yeah, good. Yeah, no, it was good. Sorry that I missed you last week, but I did catch up and have a listen.
Oh, good stuff.
I was having a few days at North Stradbroke Island, and doing some Munsey hunting too, actually.
Oh, excellent. They're Munsey over there, is there?
There's about 12 over there, so we found almost all of them.
Right.
Yeah, it was good.
What's a Munsey?
It's a scavenger hunt sort of thing with QR codes.
Wow.
And so
Okay.
use your phone to find where they are.
Something right up your alley, Eric?
It's a bit of fun.
Not my alley. I'd be martini hunting, not Munsey hunting.
Well, that sounds good.
Get the kids outside though. That's the thing.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's right.
So you can go and get me a martini.
Shaken, not stirred, eh? What have you been up to, Eric? We haven't seen you for a couple of weeks.
Oh, I've just been a little bit busy, my friend.
It's good to hear. Good to hear.
No holidays. I haven't been anywhere.
No?
I'm not Munsey hunting in North Stradbroke Island in my Speedos. That's for sure.
Oh, that's good. All right. So, good. All right, so that all sounds good. Welcome back. Short pause. Now, let's get into it. Look, first of all, I just want to thank everyone that takes the time to comment on the iTunes. We've got a couple. We've got one here from the LT Shooter. Can you remove the flag from the icon? I don't know. Makes me feel like a blank on the train when other people look at my phone. I don't know. Well, look, I do want to change that because obviously that is pretty old. I'm always about 2 years behind. You know what's funny?
Glenn? Can I interject here? If you wear an American flag in America, you're patriotic. You wear an Australian flag in Australia and you're a racist. How does that work?
Yeah, I don't get it.
No, I don't understand that.
I don't get it either.
Did you go to America? You go in the south of America, in the Carolinas, Mississippi, all that place. You got these big, magnificent Georgian houses on big estates. You got a big flagpole in the middle, American flag waving, and patriotic. If I put a flag out the front here, I'd be charged with racism.
Oh, I don't know.
And I
about
wasn't
that.
even born here. I wasn't even born here, and I got no problem with the Australian flag. What's the problem?
No, look, I don't know what the problem is, but
I'll tell you what the problem is. It's the left-wing nutbags who want to ban smoking in your own home. That's the latest. You know that?
I saw that. You better get it. You better hook in while you still can. All right, now another one. Yeah. So anyway, to answer that question, look, that the podcast logo thing will change sooner or later. I'm just really slack. I just, there's other things to do. But because as you can see, like, I'm, as I said, 2 years behind. I'll change it to something else, and then, It'll be there for another 5 years. All right, now another one. Adelaide boy. Good on you, Adelaide boy. Good to see a few fellow Aussies giving up a bit of their spare time to keep us informed. Well, you are very welcome. Very welcome indeed. All right, so if you got to get
now, read the bad one. Read the bad one.
You want to read the bad one? We do get bad ones.
Yeah, you got to read the bad one. We've got to be objective about this.
Now, this is
he wrote it on April Fool's Day, so we don't know if he's serious or not.
Yeah, it's okay. So this is from a Yimbler. Gibberer. So the podcast is equivalent of your tech illiterate dad sitting around talking shit with your drunk uncle. So there you go. Who's the drunk uncle?
Thank you for your feedback. We'll take duly noted.
It's been taken on board and kicked out the back. All right, now look, let's kick off with a story because we might as well. Now everyone's heard of the PayPal, obviously, and there's been PayPal here, which is it's a mobile solution where you can go out your little device. I think it costs you about $99. You go out and you can take credit cards on the go. It hooks up a Bluetooth into your phone and sends the data over to PayPal, process the card, puts it in the bank. Now, it looks like there's this Square. There's another company called Square. They've been going around in the US for a little while, and now looks like they've finally come to Australia. It's being the little Square. It's a little piece of hardware that plugs into your phone through the earphone jack. Now, this is the way that the PayPal here, the old PayPal here, used to do it. So probably a little bit, old tech, I suppose. If you got a PayPal here, which is nice and dandy. However, the PayPal here, as I said, was about $99 or $130. The Square, which will allow you to do the same, take credit cards through your phone, is only $19. So if you're thinking about looking into taking credit cards with your phone, get out there. And have a look at
my question. Can you punch in the numbers manually?
You would be able to. Yes.
You should be able to, shouldn't you?
Yeah, you were able to.
Because a lot of people, some people take mail orders and telephone orders, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, you could, but yeah, and sometimes the cards don't work, so you'd have to be able to do that. So it's available throughout Australia in Officeworks, Apple, and Bunnings, of all places. Bunnings, wow. Now, Square can be used with the free point-of-sale Square app, hooray, and which is also compatible with QuickBooks and Xero Accounting. So Xero Accounting, as you heard last week, the other Steve that was on last week, he's just started working for them. So they're sort of really making inroads into the market just as well, because my old bank QuickBooks is pretty awful.
QuickBooks hideous.
Yeah, so well, you haven't switched on MyOb for a while then?
The new MyOb is terrible.
Is that the cloud MyOb or still the desktop?
Both of them, they're slow and gluggy.
Yeah, it's horrendous, isn't it? I think it's because, are they still tied to, aren't they built in Microsoft Access or something?
I don't know.
That's rubbish.
It's built in something.
It's built at the tip. Now, Square accepts debit and credit card payments, 1.9% charge per transaction. So, look, I'm not sure if there's more charges to come if you try and take your money out, like good old PayPal charge you. But, yeah, I don't know. So
does it go to your account or does it go to their account?
Or you would have an account with... Well, I don't know. Good question. I'm not really sure. I don't know.
Because with PayPal, they charge you on the way in, they charge you on the way out, don't they?
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty dodge.
Yes, I don't know that one.
With that, that audio connection, how does that actually work? Does it have some audio sort of signal that it gives to? Is that how it works, or?
Oh, you're getting a bit technical.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was just thinking how it works. Is it like the old phone systems that had the tones and like so on? Is it kind of like that technology? Is it
possibly?
Well, it might be because it's but it's interesting because it plugs in the headphone jack. So so it just still must send an analog signal back into the phone somehow. That's a very good question. I don't really know.
But the headphone jack still has the mic input built into it too, doesn't it? So it's got both in and out. Yes,
because the earphone plug's got the 3 rings on it.
That's right.
Yeah, so there must be some technology in there where they can just send the data both ways. But so that's is that something? Are you use that sort of stuff, Stuart? Are you into that sort of stuff? No use? Any use?
No, it's not. It's not something that I'd be into really. But it sounds great for someone who wants to take mobile payments.
Mm. What about you, Eric? Is that a good option for you for?
Oh, look,
payments?
I would use it. That cheaply. Let's put it this way: I've got a merchant facility, and they charge me something like $22 a month, right, for the machine.
Yeah.
It's one of those portable ones, with the GPS thingy.
Yeah.
They charge me 1.4% for MasterCard and Visa, and I think 2% from Amex.
Right.
So this 1.9 across the board, a little bit higher on the Visa and MasterCard, but lower on the Amex. And I know why they're doing it, because they're averaging their cost out, because Amex is a little bit higher merchant fee. So they're just saying, oh, look, bugger it, we'll average it out, make it 1.9. So that's okay. I don't mind that. You're paying a little bit extra overall, because I do take the majority of my credit card payments on non-Amex cards. But at the same time, I wouldn't have to pay $22 a month for the rental.
Yeah.
So that sort of more than makes up for it.
Mm.
So look, it might be worthwhile. Might be worthwhile looking at. I'm on the website now. I'm just trying to work out whether or not it goes into one of their PayPal type accounts and then they slug you again on the way out.
Probably.
Because if they do that, then it's not for me. Because my credit card merchant, every day at 5 o'clock every afternoon, it just goes straight to my account.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's all right.
And all I pay is the merchant.
Yeah, cool. All right. Now, Stu, you got a bit of a a history story. History repeating itself.
History, yeah. It was announced a bit earlier this year, but I only came across it just recently. But Kodak launching a new Super 8 camera. Now, if you are not familiar with the Super 8 camera, it came out in the 60s, and it was a very popular home video type sort of, well, not video. It was film. It was a film camera, and it was very popular, and it was around for years and years. But they stopped making it recently because everything went video and then digital. And now Kodak is having a bit of a renaissance with this technology, and they've got a new Super 8 camera. It still uses film, which is unbelievable. So you're buying a film cartridge that only lasts a few minutes worth of footage. But the way that they're structuring it is that when you buy the film cartridge, it also the cost built into it also has all the processing and digitizing and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, right.
So you mail the cartridge back into Kodak, and they go and process it, but they also digitize it at 4K, put it in the cloud, so you can then download all the files as video files.
Wow. Because like those little cameras, like I'll put a shot up there of them for people on the video. But yeah, they look like the old Super 8s. They look pretty trendy, don't they? Like, yeah, it's cool.
Retro, I think.
It
is. Looking for.
It's very. I saw some other headlines about it, and they were saying things like the coolest camera that you'll never buy, because it's a cool looking camera, but it's still not that practical. The old Super 8s never captured audio, so they only had.
Right.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Film. There was no audio. So what they're doing on this one.
You have to walk around with a boom.
I know, with a separate recording, piece of equipment.
Then you got to dub them together.
Yeah, that's right. Well, what they're doing with this one, it does have a microphone. If you see on the top of that that picture, there's that little yellow square.
Yeah, right.
Is the mic. It's recording onto an SD card while you're filming. So then, but it's still up to you then to later on to marry up the audio and the video.
Yeah,
I couldn't be bothered. No one's got time for that.
No. Now, so I'm guessing that are we all old enough here to remember the Super 8s?
I would have been a couple of years old when they first came out.
What about you, Stuart? You got some footage of yourself, a little boy, on Super 8
Yeah,
somewhere?
no. My dad had that and the projector and all that sort of equipment. And,
the projector. Projector night. Come around for projector night.
Yes, but it was good because the films only went for about 8 minutes, didn't they? Each one. So you had to, just had to film, and.
Well, at least you wouldn't be bored.
Well, no, well that's right. Yeah, but yeah,
Remember slide nights when everyone's come around and go, "Oh, I went up wherever for a holiday. Come and look at the slide." You're thinking, "You really? You're going to show me 100 slides of the same caravan from different angles? Really?"
I've got a projector because a few years ago I used to I bought the projector because I used to put the Super 8 onto onto DVD and all that sort of stuff. And all I did was just got into a dark room, projected onto a white surface, and then just videoed it. And that was that's old technology. But what's come back as well is, remember the old Polaroids?
Yeah, they're back.
They're back.
My kids have had those for a few years.
I know. I had to buy one for my 10-year-old's birthday. A Polaroid. Couldn't believe it. And the photos have shrunk. Did you notice that, Eric? The photos.
They're smaller.
Yes, they used to. Yeah, they're only about 4 centimeters wide by about 6 centimeters long.
2.
Yeah, I know they're crazy. Not like the old ones at all. But but Super 8, they're back. They do look pretty. They look pretty tricky.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's not out yet. It's not out yet. It's coming out later. But they're thinking around about $750 US, which means it's going to be over $1,000 here.
Ooh,
that's That's heavy. That's heavy stuff. I don't know if I'll be doing that.
No, sorry.
No.
Not for me. $750.
Well, I bought those.
Jeez.
I bought those Sony cameras, and they got a projector in the actual camera. So whatever you record, you can project, and that only costs $330.
I reckon if you go on eBay, you'll probably get an original Super 8 for $100.
If you can still find them. But all right, so
some people.
Yeah. All right. So let's get on to something that you've seen this week, Eric. What have you got?
What have I seen? Excuse me. Haven't seen much.
Let's talk FBI.
Okay. You started off.
All right. Well, I was gonna.
I haven't been here for a couple of weeks. So, in the 2 weeks that I haven't been here, I have. It's been announced that FBI don't need Apple.
No.
Oh, boo. But Apple says, "Oh, well, you've got to let us know how you cracked it open because we're all mates and buddies and we're going to all cozy up to one another." And the FBI has pretty much flipped the bird at them. So that's where we're at. Correct?
Yeah, pretty much. Apparently, there is some little unknown law that if law enforcement find a bug or a way to circumvent security from a phone or from a private company's device, they do have to tell them how they did it. And I think that's what Apple's trying to exploit.
And that's probably true. And in the past, that's probably what they've done. However, if Apple didn't make such a big hoo-ha about this in the first place, and it was all done on the quiet like it has been for the last 20 years, in the spirit of mutual cooperation in a discreet manner, all of this would be happening. But because Apple made a big hoo-ha about the initial request, FBI just giving it back to them now.
Yeah.
Now, what do they want?
Yeah, I think it's hilarious.
And I'm telling you, Cookie Monster's got to go. He's running this place into the ground. I swear to God.
He's not happy. He can't be happy, can he? Because now the iPhones are crackable, and he doesn't know how. Well,
my daughter worked out a crack on the iPhone, and there's a thing on it on one of the websites here. I didn't post it tonight. That if you got the password thingo, you can get into someone's phone by using Siri.
Yes, but that's been out.
You
for a
ask
while.
her to do something, and she asked her to do something. You do a couple of things, and you're in. And another one she showed me. This is my 14-year-old showed me this.
Yeah, they know.
She said she said she went to the weather or something, and then she clicked this and clicked that, and bang, she was in.
Right. Wow. Yeah. So look, I think that's a problem. That's a problem. And on top of this, because they sort of pride themselves in being security conscious.
This was never a problem 5 years ago. You couldn't get into an iPhone if your life depended on it. You couldn't get into it.
No, and probably
How many times did it say you've had too many attempts, try in another hour?
Yeah, isn't it after 10 failed attempts, it wipes? Something like that? I think
No, it depends how you set it up.
Yeah, I think it's
you can set it up like that, yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, that leads into, say, my story. So that's where we're up to. Now, the FBI agreed to unlock another phone in another homicide case. Now, police in Arkansas wish. Is it Arkansas? Arkansas, or is that how you pronounce it? I don't know.
No, Arkansas.
Arkansas.
It's pronounced Arkansas.
Yeah, wish to unlock an iPhone and iPod belonging to teenagers accused of killing a couple. Now, a judge agreed to postpone the Arkansas case on March 28 to allow prosecutors to ask the FBI for help. So,
no one's ringing Apple for help.
no, and anyone's got a problem with their iPhone, they're going to the FBI. Can you unlock?
They're going to
this?
set up a little genius bar at the FBI.
That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Oh dear.
All these guys at the genius bar with blue shirts and sidearms.
Yes, but
They're gonna high five you when you walk out as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the Apple store today at Rabina. Yeah, it's pretty swift, isn't it? Hey, it's pretty.
Throw up.
No.
Did you have a look at the new iPad Pro? The new one?
No. Is it?
You know what? They brought in a smaller one, don't you? Because they've realised that the one they brought out was too damn big,
yes,
and too damn heavy,
and too damn dear.
They've gone, oops, Cookie Monster's got it wrong again.
Yes. And
I've seen some good reports on that new one, and they're saying it's basically the perfect size. You know, back to the old size. It's perfect now.
It's the perfect size, but you know what they're charging for a keyboard? $200.
It's crazy
for a keyboard.
Can't you just get can't you just get a $20 Bluetooth keyboard for it?
No, you pay a little bit more. You get what brand is it? There's a good brand that's they've got a good one out. It's actually better than the Apple one.
Belkin's
Can't remember the name of it.
Good stuff for Apple products, haven't they? But anyway, I was
that?
in Belkin. They got good third.
Belkin, yeah, they're all right.
Yeah, I was in the Apple store, and it is pretty efficient in there, isn't it? Like, I walk in, as soon as I step.
Oh, no doubt. They know how to run a store.
Yeah,
no doubt.
3 steps in, lady says, "Oh, how can I help you? How can I direct you?" And I says, "I was after a power charger thing," and she goes, "Oh, just get down there on the left. I'll get someone to help you." I walk down there, and someone comes up and says, "Power charger?" And I went, "That's correct." And just so obviously
they've got their earpieces in.
Yes, yeah.
They're walking around with earpieces, and as soon as you walk in that direction, she radios ahead and says, "There's a guy coming. He's got this colour shirt on, and he's looking for a power charger."
Now, I don't know if we've crossed this subject before, but when you pay, what do you got Apple products, Stuart?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you go into the Apple store, you pay for something. Today I could have I'm unknown, so I go in, but as soon as I give them my card, they say, "Would you like me to email your thing?" Now, so obviously they're keeping my card details. They're matching them up with the email.
No, they match it up with their database, because if you've ever bought anything online from them with that card, right, it's got your email address already on it.
Yeah, that's right. So, but they're retaining my card number to be able to know.
No, they think they match the first 4 and the last 4 and the expiry date.
Oh, okay, right.
Otherwise, it's too easy to. The rest of it would be encrypted.
Yeah, because those little things that they got, they're all Wi-Fi, aren't they? So
yeah, and they always check with you. Is it this? Is the address Glenn at blah blah blah? And you go, yeah, that's the one. Because they always double check to make sure it's the right person's been charged and the receipt's going to the right person.
Yeah.
So they always do check.
Yeah.
Most of that would be encrypted.
But look, they're just so efficient in there. I was in and out.
Extremely efficient.
Yeah. Look, I don't know. I've sat on the toilet longer than I was in that store. It's just crazy. All right.
Yeah, you should maybe go see a doctor, mate.
I have. Now, all right, what else have I got here? Let's have a look. Here we go. Now, Australia appears to be one of the biggest countries in the world for pirated software. And not just...
Pirating software?
Yes.
Is that what you said? Pirating software? Have
Yep.
they been around to Will's place?
Oh, come on. I don't. He burned stuff down there. Now, as in a fire. Now, where was I? Yeah, so it's only used in businesses. So people, if you dob in a pirate, that's a business that's using, pirated software, you may be able to earn yourself up to 20 grand as a reward from the software.
I don't know anyone that pirates software.
From the Software Alliance. No.
But okay,
No,
let's dig a little bit deeper. If Australia is the highest for pirated software, business software, you got to ask the question why. I'll tell you, we all know why. We know the answer because we're paying triple for everything.
Yeah, look, I think that I don't know. I think that argument might sort of run a bit thin. Do you think? Like
we are paying, we do pay a lot for micro. Well, not so much anymore.
No,
but you go back to when you upgrade to your full version of Vista was going to cost you $800-900.
Yeah,
and it was $300 or $275 in the States. It's ridiculous.
But if you're running a business and you're making money utilizing that product, you should morally pay for it.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you. But at the same time, you've got to answer, why am I paying 3 times what everyone else is paying?
Sorry, Stuart, were you going to say something?
Yeah, no, I guess it's just another cost of business, software just like anything else. But it's also, it's not worth the risk either. I mean, I wouldn't like to be worried about pirated software.
No way.
Oh, it's not worth it at all. The fines are enormous, especially for business.
Yeah, and look, I'll tell you, obviously as you go through your life, obviously I used to pirate not pirate, but you crack it and put it on your computer, and you never had the original versions and stuff. And
well, back then you didn't have to register anything either.
No, but I'll tell you, the day I went and bought Windows XP was the day I stopped getting blue screens, and I don't get the blue screen anymore.
I don't think I've had a blue screen since Windows XP.
Yeah, so it's like
and that would have been my fault because I was mucking around with it.
So, like, if you're getting blue screens and you've got some dodgy software on your machine, I'd seriously think about just going out and making it legal, because that obviously just takes away a lot of issues. But anyway,
the thing is, it's a bit of for people who pirate software and they get the blue screen issue like you suggest there. The downtime on productivity to get your computer back up is going to be a lot more than paying for the software.
Yeah, that's right. Because, I don't know how long it takes you, but it would take me, if I was to format my machine, and I'm looking at
it's a day.
It's a day, yeah. And what about you, Stuart? You'd agree it'd be a long time.
Oh, easily. Yeah,
it's a long time.
Let's bring it back to how it was.
Yes.
It's a day.
Yes, it's a big job. But anyway,
and it's a pain in the neck.
Yeah,
it's exhausting and it's boring and it's infuriating.
Yeah, and then for the next week, you go to do something, you go, I haven't installed that. So anyway, the reward applies for leads on illegal copying or use of software that belongs to BSA members, now which includes Adobe, Apple, IBM, Microsoft, Oracle, and Symantec. Now, the IDC research revealed that the higher the unlicensed PC software rate in a country, the more malware was generally registered. So, that's what, people
that makes sense.
If you download a crack off wherever, the torrents or wherever, like people
you can't update it, but number one, and so it's very vulnerable.
Yeah, and people aren't cracking it just for fun. They're cracking it because they're putting some nasty stuff in there.
That's right.
Yeah, so anyway, you can dob them in. There's a link in the show notes. Go your hardest. Last year, Western Australia was the state with the highest number of software piracy settlements by businesses. So BSA said the majority of offenders were in the manufacturing industry. Well, there you go. No, good for them. All right. Stuart, what else have you found?
Yeah, well, I thought that we can't go another week without talking about drones again.
Oh, no way.
So apparently the US Army are hoping to provide little sort of tiny personal drones that are cheap and easy to supply to their soldiers. So not the drones that are high up in the sky doing surveillance and things like that, but these are the ones that are with the soldiers that can look around corners or look over a hill or something like that, and they can see that they could use these, and every squad would have their own little drone. So
yeah, that's awesome, isn't it?
It's not surprising, really, is it? It makes a lot of sense the way that the technology is going. Yeah,
so like they're that small. Like for those on the audio, that they'd fit into the palm of your hand by the look of that thing. And
they're pretty nifty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's got to be nice and light as well, because of course they're already carrying a ton of equipment.
To
start with, so they wouldn't want anything else.
These poor blokes are in the hottest climates. They're in the desert, 50 degrees sometimes, full gear, can't walk around in shorts, so they're full protective, and those heavy metal helmets, and they've got backpacks which probably got 20 or 30 kilos on it. Their guns, which is probably weighs 5 kilos, bullets. They're probably carrying nearly an extra 30% of their body weight.
Well, this thing, did you say how much it weighed, Stuart? It was
it'd be a kilo.
A third of a pound.
Yeah,
third of a pound.
Right. Yeah.
About 250 grams or something.
Yeah, so launch within 1 minute and fly for at least 15 minutes.
I wonder what the range is on it.
Well, 15 minutes. So I suppose
the range, distance before it, before you
Conk
lose
out.
control of it.
I'd probably guess if you
It'd be a few kilometres.
Well, I
Aren't
don't know
they?
whether that's too far for that sort of thing, but
Aren't the drones programmed, or well, probably the good one, but they're programmed that they don't go out of range? Like if they're going to go out of range,
The good ones would be, yeah.
they just
I
come
would
back
assume
or
so.
something. Yeah.
or they come back or something if they get out of range. And
Yes, they
Yeah,
hone in on
well-
the GPS or something where they left from or something. Yeah.
Yeah, when
well,
they hit
the,
their boundary, they just turn back or don't go past it.
that's right. That's right.
interesting.
Yeah. And
I
apparently
want one.
the British and Norwegian soldiers have been using them already. But I think the key with this article is that they want really small and light and cheap ones, so that every squad can have one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're very tiny.
So they can get into the caves in Afghanistan.
Yeah. Find out what's going on. But
Foxholes.
they're very small. That's cool. I know the drones, they've been in the news, haven't they? There's little drone races all over the place. I told you
Oh,
this,
you and your drone races.
I
Here we
told you
go.
this was going
Come on.
off.
You're just going to go off here.
Oh, no, I just told you it was going off. They're so cool.
They're getting cheaper.
Yes.
Apple Store sells quite a few decent drones.
Oh, really? I would have had a look at it if I'd have known that.
Yeah,
What sort of drones?
they sell a few.
Are you serious?
Normal flying drones. Apple.com.au.
Yeah.
And just go to the search bar
Yeah.
and type in drones.
Yeah, right. Well, there you go. Didn't know that. How much are they?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Is that like the Parrot brand and things like that? Probably.
Yeah, well, they've got a few brands now. They've got, these are pretty nifty. They got one, the DJI, look this up, DJI Phantom 4 camera drone. It's $2,500.
Oh, jeez.
It's a beautiful machine.
4 cameras.
the-
Jeez.
Their cheapest drone is the Parrot drone, which is $150.
Hang on. What do you? I'm
And-
gonna see if I can find this. So, what did you call Apple.com?
DJI Phantom 3 or Phantom 4 are the best ones.
Let's see if we can bring a picture up. Oh, there they are. Look at those things.
How good do they look?
Yeah. So the one on the left is 2,400.
Yeah, it's the one.
The one on the right
That's
is
the one.
900.
That's the one you want.
Oh, look at that beast. Look at that beast. Let's go into it. Let's have a look. I can't believe $3,000 add to bag. Wow. That's pretty cool. All right. Let's get back to it. Where are we up to?
That's what I want for Christmas, I think.
Eric, what else have you found? You found another bug, or Apple's admitted
Yeah,
to
Apple, during the week, an update came through for Apple. Sneaky one.
Sneaky.
9.3.1. And it was, last week it says Apple launched 9.3.1 primarily to address serious problems introduced in 9.3. And this fix in turn was discovered to cause, so the fix itself was faulty, to cause a major security hole. Excellent work. Yet, unlike the silence that greeted many problems in iOS 8, Apple has again fronted up immediately and admitted to the flaw, which is not like them. But again, this wasn't happening when Jobsy was around and before all those people got sacked. A lot of people got fired within 6 months of Steve Jobs passing away, and they were all hardcore 15, 20-year Apple veterans like Scott Forstall and a few of those people.
Yeah. What do they
And,
call that when you lose the old people out of a firm? Well, they call that the corporate memory, don't they? Is that the terminology they use?
Pretty much. But it'd have to be a little bit of politics there, because the news at the time was saying that the people that left weren't a right fit for Apple anymore. So that tells me that a different culture was being enforced, and we know what that's about, don't we?
So, but
So
Jobs,
and then all these problems started happening with the leaks and the bad products. And Apple haven't really innovated since the iPad, like we discussed a few weeks ago.
but Jobs had his own problems as well, though. He had
He was a complete pirate, but
no, but I mean his product problems. Like he had his,
of course he did. Yeah, but it was never a security problem.
Yeah, okay.
It was never security. It might have been the antenna.
Yeah, that's what
or
I was
it could have
thinking
been the software was too slow, or he didn't want to initially build an app store because he thought the web apps would be enough, and all these things. But it was never security. And since he's been gone, there's been many, many security holes.
I think we spoke about it, but I think that Steve Jobs would have cooperated with the FBI. I think he just would have said, "Yeah, what do you want? I'll open it for you."
Yeah, he said he would have. I reckon he would have said, "I'll help you, but can we keep this out of the media?"
Yeah, I reckon that's how he would have
operated. Not started beating his chest and trying to prove what a big man he was.
Yeah, but I updated mine. I guess we've all updated our iPhones to 9.3.1. I did.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, mine's been good. No complaints.
Well, if my 14-year-old can crack it, I'll let you know.
Yeah, okay. My Siri keeps coming on in the most inappropriate times.
Security flaw. Is it plugged in?
No, it's just it can be anywhere. So there might be a little whistle on the TV or something will happen, and she goes, "Hello, can I help you?"
But I thought Siri only worked when it was plugged in.
No, it's
or is it the iPhone 6 on the 6S? It works all the time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you just say, "Hey Siri," and it wakes up.
Yeah, because I think I can
just
just
on the 6.
As mine just did.
On the 6, it won't work unless it's plugged in.
Hey Siri.
Well, actually, I haven't tried it. Let me try it.
Yeah, mine just come up. Yeah.
Hey Siri. No, see, mine won't. Because it's the iPhone 6.
Yeah, okay.
It only works if it's.
Yeah, right. Well,
it's really good when you're driving the car and things like that, and you want to, change the music or something
I always
like that.
say,
It's fantastic.
I play latest Aussie Tech Heads podcast, it'll just drag it out and play it.
It won't do that to me. Oh, but then I know what my problem. I know what my problem is. Because when I jump in the car, it attaches itself to the Bluetooth, and
right.
For the life of me, and I've had this car in the stereo now for 3 years or so. For the life of me, I can't get the phone to work through the Bluetooth. Just can't do it.
What Bluetooth system did you put in the car?
Bluetooth 2, I think, is it?
Did it come with the car, or did you have to put it in?
No, I bought it specifically. And so I can play stereo music through it. I can play stuff through it. But I can, when I do a call, I can hear the call through it, but no one can hear me. It's like, so the microphone just doesn't work on the thing. So when I'm in the car driving around, I can't go, "Hey Siri," because the stupid thing's on Bluetooth and they can't hear me.
Oh.
Yeah, it's gone off again.
Phone you.
Oh, it says Bluetooth is already on. Thanks, Siri. Thanks for that. Now, laptops in schools. Now, everyone thought this was a good idea, but apparently one school in Sydney doesn't think so. It's the Sydney Grammar School has banned students from bringing laptops into the school. So the principal has said, "We find that having laptops or iPads in the classroom inhibit conversation. It's distracting." I suppose he's right.
I was a bit iffy about laptops at school, and I've had a girl now had a laptop from year 7, and she's now in year 12, and I think it is too distracting.
Because I suppose
a lot of the time they are told, and this is what my kids tell me, they are told that laptops shut, and they're only allowed to open them when the teacher says, "Now open your laptops and put this in, or write this down, or type this in, or whatever." Right?
Yeah.
But I hear stories about, for example, there's one girl in my middle daughter's class who constantly says, "Oh, can you send me your homework?" Right? And my daughter goes, "No way. I'm not sending my homework. I'm not busting my ass to get good grades to send someone my homework." Yeah. And the reason she does is because she's got her earphones in and she's watching Netflix in class.
Happy
No?
days. What? How can you? What? Aren't they? Can't they firewall that? Why would they be allowed?
Well, that's what look, it takes time, I think, because the IT department's always monitoring traffic.
Yeah.
And when they see, because you can't get onto Facebook at school or any social media sites. It's banned, completely out. No YouTube, nothing. And for example, a teacher might want to show them something on YouTube as part of their studies. It might be a documentary or something, right?
Yeah.
So the teacher's laptop would be accepted, the little MAC address in the router going, right, this can go on.
Yep.
And then she plugged it into a projector and they'd watch it
Yes.
that way.
Yeah. Right.
But over time they keep blocking and blocking and blocking. But so the teacher might go, okay, now open your laptops and do this. So when the teacher tells her to do that, she flicks on Netflix, and at the end of class she'll ask my daughter, "Oh, can you send me the work?" And my daughter will go, "No, stop watching TV, you stupid woman.
But yeah, her dad's happy he's paying all that money just for that.
You're paying all that money. You don't want to know what we pay for that school, but that kid is going to be working in Kmart, feeding him."
But I'll tell you how much you pay at Sydney Grammar. It's got here. It's $32,644 annual tuition fee. Yeah.
Yep, that's right. Is that year 12 or year 7?
It doesn't say. It just says the prestigious Sydney school charges $32,644 annual tuition fee and regularly leads in national literacy and numeracy tests. Well, you'd hope so.
Well, you'd hope so.
Yeah. So the students have access to the computers in the labs. And can use laptops for homework, but are required to handwrite assignments until year 10.
Yep.
I think that's a good idea. Otherwise, they're not going to learn how to write.
Well, that's it. Well, see, for example, my year 12 girl just had her exams, and it's all written, and they're all walking out of there with sore hands because they don't write.
Yeah. How is it like when you sit down and write something lengthy now? Yeah, you go, oh, geez. And do you running right? I don't running right anymore.
Oh, I do. I still running right.
Do you? What do you do, Stuart? Do you running right?
Yeah, I do both. But it does feel a bit weird because I spend most of the time typing. But they talk about muscle memory as well for studying purposes and how it's more useful to write your notes down when you're studying because you retain that information better.
That's right. Because reading it off a screen, you might. I think you're only retaining 50% when you read off a screen. Yeah. In my experience. But when you're writing it, you're reading, that's number one, you're writing, and you're reading again. You're actually, in that half an hour period, it's gone into your brain 3 times. And that helps to retain the information. Because
I know, and like Stuart, you'd probably be in the same boat, that my little 10-year-old, she's got to take an iPad to school now. And I don't know, like what's so good about all this stuff? But
we aren't at that stage yet, so.
Oh, really? Oh, right. No.
They've got.
I think it's a bit,
got
a bit
iPads
young to be
school.
getting to a 10. That's a bit young.
I mean, they've got iPads in and various laptops. I think in the classroom, but it's not like every child has to bring one in or anything like that. It's nothing like that.
Yeah. No. Well, I think it's pretty much everyone has to have an iPad in our school. In what is it, year 5? And then if you don't have one, there's loaners. There's loaners for you to use. So it's pretty compulsory. I had to buy, I don't know, maybe $30 worth of apps at the start of the year.
Yeah, right. Look, that's all. That's okay, providing they're not on it the majority of the time. So I understand the mix of technology with making sure that you're still, your numeracy and your math and your reading and your writing and all that. As long as it's all done in conjunction, that's fine. It's when it takes over. You try and hire someone out of Year 12 now, any school, and ask them to write down on a bit of paper, tell me your goals for the next 5 years, and they can't think. And then when they can think, they can't write it down.
Well, I don't know. What do you think on the whole topic, Stuart, about laptops in schools? Do you think the Sydney Grammar's just going a bit far, or you don't see a problem? You don't care either way?
Yeah, I think it's pretty distracting. I would say. I mean, there was nothing like that back in my day, I guess. But when I first went to uni, I think in a whole lecture theatre there was probably 2 people that had laptops in the whole place.
Yeah.
Back then, because it was like $4,000 for a laptop or something like that, and so no one had one. But I think now everyone has them in the lecture theatres, and it's just the space they take up and the noise of the typing and all that sort of stuff. It does sound distracting.
I think you might, Eric.
I agree.
Yeah, you might have been onto something there about the writing it down business, or whoever said that. Eric or Stuart said that. Yeah.
It is. Look, it is time consuming. We used to write everything down at uni, but then we're allowed to type our essays and hand it in.
All right.
That's fine.
Yeah, all right. Stuart, what else have you found this week, please?
Yeah, just another story about virtual reality, or in this case, it's actually the augmented reality of HoloLens, Microsoft's HoloLens. They've partnered with NASA to do an AR, which stands for augmented reality, version of Mars.
Wow.
So at the moment, it's called Destination Mars, and it's supposed to be completely realistic. So they're using real scans and footage and data that they've taken from Mars, so that it is exactly the way it is if you were there. At the moment, it's just a demo that they've just opened to the press and so on. But they're going to open their doors to all visitors at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida this summer.
Yeah,
that's
right.
brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. And it's just, how different is Microsoft now to 5 or 10 years ago? The innovation that's coming out of that place is unbelievable.
That HoloLens is awesome. That's awesome.
Well, what I liked about this article as well was that they were saying the reason why the HoloLens was particularly good for this application was it wasn't like the Oculus Rift, which is virtual reality, where it's completely immersive. You can't see anything else but what's inside the helmet. But the HoloLens, you can still see around you. All this does is just overlay over the top of what you can currently see. And they were saying what the power of that is that you can still use your normal tools, or like if you're typing away on a laptop, you can still type down, use your laptop or whatever, or make some notes with a pen, and then you can look up and still see the Mars landscape or whatever. And you can share the experience with other people as well, because you can still see other people around you, and you're all kind of seeing the same Mars landscape.
Yeah,
well, you can buy a HoloLens. I've just got it on up here now. If you're in the United States or Canada, $3,000.
Oh, yeah, that's
and hey, when you consider the Google Glass was $1,500,
oh yeah,
it's not too bad, right? Now it's only, but you've got to be a registered developer in the United States or Canada, right? But it'll eventually get here. By the time it gets to here, it might be $1,500.
Now I don't know. This is just something I just remembered it because you were speaking about this. So if anyone wants to take advantage of this, apparently there's only 50 tickets available. They don't mention any cost. I think it's free. But it's a virtual reality and storyteller mashup. It's a Screen Queensland. Is thrilled to be working with QUT Creative Industries to bring you a special panel event on Friday, 15th of April, 4 to 6 p.m, taking you further inside the world of virtual reality. So it just goes on, blah, 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 where blah, blah, blah. It's at the Cube at the QUT Gardens Point campus on that date I just said. So
it looks very space age. It's not a bad looking device.
So if anyone's in Brizzy and they think that that's something that they want to go and have a look at, just Google up the Screen Queensland and follow your nose. And if you can't find it, send me an email and I'll forward this one to you. But it was just an email that was sent to me, and that looks pretty good. If I was in Brisbane, I'd probably have a bit of a burl. All right, what else have we got going on here? Let me scroll all the way back up here. Bitdefender. Now they've got a free tool that protects against some of this ransomware that's out there. Like I tell you, this is pretty serious, this ransomware, because I was sitting down just the other day thinking, well, I'm okay. Well, you hope that you're not going to open any Australia Post emails, ATO emails. Yeah, I know about those. If I see a PDF, I can have a look at it and make sure there's no .exe after it. All this sort of stuff. But then I sit down and just the other night it just occurred to me while I was watching my wife use her laptop. I'm thinking, now she'll click on something, and that'll stuff the whole thing. That'll stuff my
the whole network's gone. Exactly.
That's right. And I thought, well, maybe I've got to do something about this. There's not much you can do, but I do keep backups, which is the best thing that you can do. But anyway, Bitdefender. It's you would have heard of it. It's an antivirus product / company, whatever. They've released a free tool that can be used to protect systems infected by several growing ransomware strains. Now, the combination crypto ransomware vaccine protects infections from the ransomware family Locky and two older ransomware strains, the CTB-Locker and TeslaCrypt, that recently resurfaced. There's so many sort of crawling around these days. Many ransomware creators also build checks into their programs to ensure that infected computers where files have been already encrypted are not encrypted again. So they build this into it so that files aren't doubly encrypted. So I suppose if you do pay and you get the key, well, just everything just sort of unencrypts easier, I guess. Anyway, so look, if you're interested in having a look at this Bitdefender thing, I'll put a link in the show notes for it, or you can just obviously Google it, and it's the Bitdefender anti-ransomware. So I don't know. Look, I don't know. I didn't have a chance to read too far into it whether you can have the Bitdefender running at the same time as your other antivirus, or if you wanted to have both running, do you need the Bitdefender antivirus? I don't know that much about it, but it's there if you want to have a look at it. It's in the show notes, which you can find at aussietechheads.com.au/podcast, and I don't know, follow your nose. There's links there somewhere. All right. What else have we got going on? Stuart, did you have any more?
No, I'm done.
Right.
Although, just
go on, Stuart. Sorry, mate.
Just with that ransomware. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, I was talking about that Sophos 9 UTM home edition of that of that firewall router thing. Well, I have set that up.
Yes.
Since that last podcast, and it's all running well, and it has picked up not sort of picked up ransomware or things like that, but when I've been trying to install something from some website or something like that, it has thrown up a few warnings and so on that I didn't used to get. So
right.
I think it is doing a lot more behind the scenes in terms of things like that. So
yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good that you had a chance to set that up, because if you want to listen to the Aussie Tech Security, like Roger, I think last episode we spoke about just how crooks get into just social media, and how they just drag information out. But while we're talking about that, actually, I did have a story here that is pretty interesting about certain thing. Let me find it. This is hackers charging big bucks for stolen Aussie credentials. Now, credentials for Australian accounts held with the ANZ Bank with balances of around 23 grand or more are on sale for
what?
Yes, they're on sale on the dark web or wherever you want to go, but they're there, and you can get them for $2,250 and upwards. The cost of MasterCard and Visa cards with magnetic strip data has gone up, as all things do with inflation. So the magnetic data magnetic strip data cost would now cost you $25. So there you go, compared to $19, $20 last year. Premium cards information would cost you $35 each. So this is where they're making the money. This is why they want your information, because if they get your information, remember those dumps that people from Sony, all the Sony people, all the credit card information that just pounded everywhere. Well, if they're getting $35 each, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Now, look, they even sell hourly rates for denial of service attacks. Oh, it's a one-stop shop. Now, you can order up a denial of service attack on your best known guy that's just ripped you off on his website. $5 to $10 per hour. That's even gone up from last year. Longer attacks have halved in price. They obviously must have found some, some shortcuts.
Some savings there.
Some efficiencies. Yeah, so the longer attacks, maybe they put solar panels on. The longer attacks have halved in price. However, with day-long network flooding going for $30 to $55 and weekly runs for $200 to $555. There you go. If you want to follow that story.
We're in the wrong business.
Oh, it looks like it. If you want to see more of that story, once again, it's in the show notes. But isn't that just incredible that, and this is, I suppose, why you got to be so careful with your stuff. And this is why you think, well, who cares if they get my credit card? They can't do nothing with it. Who cares if they get my bank balance or whatever? They can't do nothing with it, whatever. But obviously, people want it for some reason, trying to crack you. Now, let me have a look at... Here we go. Oh, Telstra. Now, last Sunday was the Telstra Free Data Day number 2 for this year. I think it was the second in 2 months, wasn't it? Now, did anyone here take advantage of that? Should you rip into them?
No, not really, no.
I forgot about it. Eric, did you rip in?
Nah, I knew about it, but what am I going to do?
Exactly.
I've got a terabyte at home. I'm going to download what I want. What am I going to do?
Yeah, same here. Look, if I had a... Yeah, what am I going to do? If I hadn't just...
If I was running out of space at home, like, I'm going to go over my limit, I'm going to get shaped soon, I probably would have done something. But
I only just finished uploading all my photos to Google Photo. I would have done that if I had known. But anyway. So anyway, the free data day. Telstra customers used 2,686 terabytes of data on the Sunday. Now, that was more than...
a lot.
Than the last one, which when people downloaded 1,841 terabytes of data. That was up by about 46%. So I think a lot of people...
Oh, I don't know what's going on with Telstra.
Don't know, maybe the same thing as that. They've probably, said goodbye, ta-das, to a lot of people.
They're doing they're probably doing their updates and things go wrong, but, I don't think this outage was as bad as the last one.
No, it was only
I wasn't affected by the outage.
No, I think it was voice calls for a couple of hours. I think I'd noticed my Wi-Fi or my 4G went down for a little while, but nothing too intrusive. That was all right. Yeah, that was fine. And look, Eric, I think you got one. Do you want to do one little more story of yours there? Or?
There's one more.
Quickly,
for those interested in the Tesla motor vehicle, the Model 3 was released during the week. And it's a beautiful car. It's probably going to sell for us, because we get the Aussie tax here, $35,000 US they're going for in America when they get released at the end of next year. So let's convert that at current exchange rates. It's about $46,000 here. Let's call it 55 by the time you walk away with an engine, some paint and some wheels. Around 55 grand. Beautiful car.
Yeah,
he's taken... What's that, mate?
Yeah, no, it looks great. The car looks great.
It's a lovely car.
And it does look nice.
He's taken... it was released on March 31, and he has taken deposits for 276,000 vehicles.
Wow.
Already.
Wow.
Now, at $1,000 each, right? So deposits alone, he has collected $276 million in deposits alone, US.
Yeah.
Now, at $35,000, this is before you add things to it for a base model, he has taken in Australian dollars, by the time he ships all these cars, $12.8 billion.
Oh. So he's making them for 35. I don't know. I know that this is just a really...
No, he's selling them for 35.
Yeah, selling them. Yeah, what's your guesstimate for a make?
On his cost?
Yeah.
Probably 30.
So you reckon it's that high? Is that including R&D, or is that just parts?
Oh, his R&D on these electric cars it's out and it's sunk. It's already been done.
Right.
Because this is the fourth Tesla that he's released.
Yeah, rightio. Okay. And how does it say how far it can go?
500 Ks.
No, yeah? That's not too bad. That's not too bad.
Good.
Yeah.
And there's a few, and he's got on his. If you go to the website, Tesla website, Tesla Motors Australia, you'll see where the charging stations are currently. And if there's another map, you say click 2016, and it tells you where they'll be. And so he's pumping them out.
Let's
pumping
have a
out
look.
the charging
Tesla
station.
Motors Australia. Let's have a look where they're at. Let's see if there's any on the coast. Super Power.
Have you put your name down, Eric?
I will be. Got to
Really?
check. Got to check with the wife first.
Now, I'm just trying to find whereabouts would they find the charging stations.
Just go to. I'll tell you where to go. I'll tell you there's a little tab up there because I've been on this website this week. Hang on 1 second.
Updates.
Go to Supercharger.
Yeah. There we go.
And then
charge.
and go down to the bottom.
There's a.
Go down to the bottom. There you go. And go to the.
Put in a postcode.
Put in your postcode. So just put in your closest postcode.
Oh, Bulgaria. No, I better put in Gold Coast then. Must be a 4226 in Bulgaria.
Possibly, yeah.
There we go. Oh, there's none around here. No.
Is destination charging the same as superchargers?
No, superchargers can charge your car in 20 minutes.
Ah, right.
Destination charger might be an hour.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Well, that's not bad. So if you can get, there's none around here on the coast. I can't see.
Yes, there is.
Not
There's
that
heaps of them.
I can't see none.
Oh, hang on. There's destination chargers.
Yeah, in Brisbane there's 5 destination chargers but no superchargers.
No. And in the Gold Coast, there's one destination charge at Ocean Shores. Oh, that's New South Wales. Here we go. Southport.
Well, why doesn't it come up on my map?
Destination, not super.
I can see the Southport one. RACV, Royal Pines Resort.
Yeah.
I can't see that. But anyway, if you say so. I'm looking at it now. I can't see nothing. Oh, yeah,
They're
right. That's not South.
No.
They will power them off.
Yeah. Look, that's not bad, Remember,
that's pretty good.
Remember, I think it was Joseph called in a couple of years ago now. He was into the electric cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he...
With the Volt. Was it the Volt? Or what was
The
it?
Leaf. The Leaf.
Oh, that's right, the Leaf.
Yeah, and he was saying, he could only get 70k out of it.
Oh, the Leaf's terrible. The best battery technology so far is Tesla.
Mm. Yeah, but like 500, like if you can go, say it's about 1,000 k's from where I am to where Eric is.
To Sydney.
Yeah.
You stop halfway.
Well, as you
charge,
would anyway, for lunch. Or...
Yeah, as you would anyway. And then you charge just before you arrived to make you got a full tank on arrival.
Yeah.
Just say.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's
But it's not bad. Look, for every day running around, it's perfect.
Now,
If you weren't going to do any road trips, how many kilometres would you do in a day? You could do 100 kilometres a day. You charge it on Thursday.
Yeah.
Plug it into your mains. It's fully charged overnight.
Now, why can't they put a solar panel on the roof? Or make the roof a solar panel to charge?
Of the
Well,
car
that's a
itself.
good point.
Yeah.
The car might be too heavy. I don't know. Maybe that's what they might be working on that.
Now, I don't know if you know, and I know this is the questions, without notice, but how much is it to charge? Do you know how much it is to charge up?
These services, they don't charge you.
Oh, right. Who pays?
No.
Tesla.
They pay.
Yeah, right. Okay. So I suppose they've got to, proliferate the market first, and then they might say, okay, now we're going to start.
And they might say, look, from as of next week, we're going to charge you $1.
Yeah.
And then $2. And then before you know it, it's you might as well go get a petrol car.
And max speed? Any idea? Does it say in your
What's that?
maximum speeds? Any speeds?
Oh, they go. Oh, they're fast. They're very, very fast. They'll do the base Model 3 will do 0 to 100 in about 6 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you option it up, you can get they've got a little knob in the car apparently that says you switch it across to ridiculous speed. And it goes, I think it does 0 to 100 in about 2 seconds, 3 seconds, something like that. Pretty quick.
Weren't people worried about, because there's no motor as such in it, they're very quiet?
Yeah, it's quiet. It's very quiet.
Yeah, you don't have like a...
All you hear is the tyres.
Yeah, okay, right.
That's all you hear.
Have you...
I've seen there's about a dozen around where I am.
I was going to say, it sounds like you bloody looked at them.
Of the Model S. The Model S. There's a dozen around here of the Model S.
Right.
And you can't hear it. I actually saw one drive past the house this morning, and I thought, hang on, have a quick listen. Because I was at the front, and I thought, hang on, and it just went. Whew.
Oh, how good's that? Nice.
It was like a science fiction movie. It just went. Whew.
Yeah, right.
No engine noise, nothing.
But it would be, I don't know, imagine crossing a road or something. Do you think it would, is it, I don't know, you look and everything.
That's what they say. It's a bit dangerous, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, 'cause
well,
people
it
can't
is
hear you.
dangerous. I agree, definitely. But it would be less dangerous if the people crossing the road would get their heads out of their phones.
Yeah, well, yeah, but no,
Because they're getting into accident. They're getting into accidents now with petrol vehicles.
well, true, that's
Because
right.
they've got headphones in, they've got their face in their phone, and they're crossing the road. They're not even looking. How many times have you seen that?
Yeah, I know. It happens more in Sydney, I think.
Oh, idiots down here.
I listen to Lawsy in the morning sometimes, and he hates them. He comes across them all the time, and he toots his horn, and they give him the finger, and he hates it.
Yeah. Respect.
Yes.
But I think some electric cars, I think some of the, I think the McLaren have got a hybrid in the UK, which is petrol engine, which charges the electric engine, right? So the petrol's just there to charge the electric engine, and when you're running on full electric, you can add an engine noise.
Right.
It comes out through some external speakers in the front of the car.
Yeah,
right. So you can pick your sound. You can pick, I want to sound like a Ferrari today, or I want to sound like a Porsche today, or I want to sound like a
V-dub Beetle.
V-dub.
Wouldn't that be funny? Yeah, the duck, 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 duck.
Tuk. Make it sound like a tuk.
Yes. All right.
It's a bit like gas. It's a bit like gas though. Like, you know how when they first brought out gas that was odorless, and then people couldn't tell when the gas was left on, so they had to put
the smell.
Yeah, that's right. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. That's right.
Yeah.
Add a smell to it.
Now, yeah, okay. So look, if I had the money, I'd have a look at one of those. Stuart,
look, over time, I think the price will come down on all of these. They always do. But $55,000 for a car like this is still pretty good.
Yeah.
The Model S's, you wouldn't touch it. They're 150,000 in Australia, and they are shockingly expensive.
And what's the difference?
Touch one.
What do you get?
They're just smaller.
Yeah, okay.
When he came out with the first one, I watched his presentation where it goes for about 20 minutes. It's on the website. He brought out the Tesla Roadster, which is just like a two-seater convertible, like a Mazda MX-5 sort of thing. He only built 500 of those, right, because that was his first one, and they were ridiculously expensive. And then the Model S, he built a few more, still expensive, because they're still developing the technology. And then he's come out with the Model X. Have a look at this Model X on the website, mate. You will love this car, but still, again, very expensive.
That looks good. That does.
With the
look good.
wings?
Yeah, that looks good. You wouldn't want to open it up in a car park though.
But apparently it bypasses all that. It's got the technology. It actually lifts up right next to you.
Yeah, right.
So it doesn't scratch the car next to you.
Yeah.
A little bit impractical. I wouldn't buy one. So he said in his presentation that this is the first mass market electric car, and that's why it's priced at $35,000.
Yeah, right.
Because he wants the mass market. It's not just for a select few who can afford it.
So that
he wants everyone to own.
That Model X, I'm just looking on the webpage now. It's got, what's that? 1, 2, 5, 7-seater.
The model, which one? The Model X.
The X. There's
it's 7 seats.
7 seats in it. There's 3 rows of seats. How cool is that? All right. All right, well, enough of that. That is something like that up your alley, Stuart? You'd have one if you won the lotto?
Yeah, no, I'll see how it goes. It's the way of the future, isn't it?
Yeah. Look,
Electric cars.
Pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. And I suppose
they're beautiful. They're beautiful cars, and they're so fast.
Yeah. Well, like if
you could get a set of lights with a Porsche, and you will leave it standing still on these cars.
Yeah, right. So
it's got no gears. It's just one speed. No gears. No transmission. Nothing.
I was going to say something about them, but I forget now. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's what was I going to say? That's right. Yeah. If you look at it, I suppose you spend maybe $60 a week in fuel on average. Say you do $60.
Yeah.
So you extrapolate that out per year. So what's that?
Well,
10,
I reckon
600,
you probably spend $50
3,000
a month on this, on electricity. That's what I reckon.
Yeah.
It'd go from 50 a week to 50 a month. That's what I reckon.
But if you got your charging stations for free, Or you just make
Yeah,
sure
but if you're at home, $50. Depends where the charging stations are, I suppose.
Yeah, if there's one down the street, just go and listen to a podcast.
Have a coffee and see you later. That's your tight ass.
All right. Well, we'll end on that note. I think that's good. How good's that Tesla? That's great. You can have a look at that at teslamotors.com. So have a look at the Model X. That looks pretty good. All right. That's it for another show. So thanks for coming in, Stuart. Nice to have you back for another week.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. Thanks, Eric.
No worries.
No worries. Thank you.
And thanks, Eric. And hopefully we'll see you guys next week. Okay. Don't forget to
I'm around next week.
Yes, if you're not too busy. Yes, it'd be nice for you to come in. You can get us on the youtube.com/Aussie Tech Heads and Facebook. Don't forget the other shows, the Aussie Tech Security, the Old Fart Geeks, and the Obsidian Loft, which haven't had an episode for a couple of weeks. But I'll get onto them, those two Wills and Jason guys, and see what they're doing. And the Aussie Mac Zone. Good stuff. All right, so till next time, it's have a good fun. Ta-da.